Hey, this is Lance of 20-Sided Night, and this is Grock Talk number 2. I thought we were doing it together, but alright, cool. Thanks, guys. So, yeah, we're going to go over a few subjects here. We're just going to talk about some things, and hopefully make a video that you all remember to like, share, and share with your friends. Who wants to just kick this off first with some good old-fashioned, let's talk about Pathfinder 2 first. Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, so, I don't like it. It's too hard. It's too many numbers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of the Pathfinder system. Like, they got some cool classes, like the Alchemist is kind of cool because it's like a potion guy,
But they never seem to add psionics in any game ever.
Yeah, except for like maybe like first edition or whatever 1.5 D&D, how they had that one news article. It's like, you're sorry, do psionics. And I was like back in the 70s, and
I think that's how they keep getting people to come in. Like they'll come up with a new book and they'll keep it really vague and mysterious. And then what they'll do is they'll put the hope that maybe there's psionics in here. I don't know. Nope, you got to buy another book.
Yeah, except for like Starfinder, they finally had the balls.
Yeah, it's one good thing that Starfinder did outside of their magic is that they did decide to put some sort of way to make even a watered down version of anything you wanted to make in the games.
Yeah. I also just don't like. I mean, the whole thing where it's like.
And that's all I can say. Yeah. We don't do it. We tacked onto the front. Now I gotta cut this part out. I'm not gonna cut it out. Nope. So let's talk. Well, we can talk about. We can talk and scream and complain about Pathfinder 2 all day. Craig, have you seen anything about it?
No, literally, like, I didn't know that there was a new thing, so...
Oh.
I'm also new to, tabletop. Like, I've only been playing for the last, like, year or so, and very, 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 lightly, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I'm literally, like, kind of fresh to the scene, if you will.
Well, you're fresh to me, sweetheart.
So, get fresh.
So, let's talk about that then. Let's just go around the table, just talk about... just since we are on the vein of these role-playing games, what's close to Starfinder, D&D, tabletop role-playing games that you have done?
So I've only done a couple games of D&D. One that was like a homebrew. It was like a pirating one that was kind of cool.
Okay.
And then another one that was just like the classic 5e.
I think was I there for the pirate
yes.
one? Yeah.
We had a great time, by the way.
That one was pretty fun.
I really wish that would have gone farther.
Also, that one really shitty game that we ran at work, remember?
Yeah.
How it lasted for these days, like, what do you all do? Yeah. Every call center job I've been at, I have started a game of D&D there. My boss has said, "What are you doing? Stop!" And then everybody gets creeped out, so that's why I don't want to call.
I thought you guys worked at Pizzo.
No, I work at
We worked at the cookie shop.
I perform quiet time services under a bridge.
And also seagull busting.
Hey, shut up that. Listen, here's the thing. Your accusations on seagull busting have not yet been reviewed.
Listen, Lance was a good boy. He was a sweet boy. He didn't deserve none of this.
Alright, should we move on to Evan now?
Yeah, let's start talking about real estate crimes. Evan, let's talk about you now. A little bit about what you've been in history with tabletop role-playing games.
I don't know, like I started, if you were good little boys and girls and you watched our FanX, number 1 video, I started because I found was watching Dexter's Lab with my dad, and he used that episode where he's playing D&D, and so my dad was laughing super hard at it when we got home from visiting my grandma's house. He showed me all his, like, D&D books from the 70s, we started playing that, but that was weird and we were stupid little kids, so we played a real fast and loose version of it, but it was still fun.
What 5e?
No, listen, it was different. A low armor class is what you wanted. If you had a -1 armor class, you were the Susan.
Oh, God.
Yeah, because back then you would roll low, so you hit instead of a +1 sword that you want a -1 sword. Because the low and a critical and a 1 was a critical, and now I sound like an old man, like back when I worked at a Thunderdome, and I would tell kids about things like, I remember when 9/11 was a thing that happened, or Y2K, looking like a strange old wizard.
Yeah,
Works
so
at the Thunderdome.
Yeah.
Well,
Like where 2 men enter and 1 man leaves.
a little bit.
yeah, you sound like a lot like an old man. You're bringing up weird places you did not work at. You're bringing up tragedies from the past.
I'm
You're saying back in my day.
How is Tina Turner? I just gotta know.
Oh, by the way, fun story about that. They're actually naming the next hurricane after her husband,
Wow.
Hurricane Ike.
They have already had an Ike though.
Well,
So they're doing a second Ike? Like Ike Returns?
I'm sure he beat his wife more than once.
I didn't know that Hurricanes would end up being like a Batman series, like Ike Returns.
Well, Hurricane Ike.
We'll have Ike forever in a couple of years.
Oh no.
Ike and Robin.
Will there be Ike nipples?
Oh Jesus.
Yes.
Directed by Tim Burton.
But Hurricane Ike.
Hell yeah.
Only the first 2. The others,
Oh no.
they'll be a travesty.
There'll be those 2, and then the next will be awful. There'll be 3 good ones, and then the best one.
FEMA will get involved on one of them. They'll be like, we regret ever participating in this.
Speaking of FEMA, how did y'all react to the presidential tweet?
Oh,
I was at work, so every phone in my office went off at once, and everyone was like, "Is that the fire alarm? We're supposed to leave," and then everyone looks at their phones. Oh, what is this shit? Alright.
I like how triggered and mad everybody got, because like my little sister does the social media monstering along with this little cutie here. And so she was just looking through the Twitter, and everybody was complaining, "Oh, it's interrupting my nap." Like 40 people said that. Like they wanted to be mad about something that the president did, but they weren't original enough to come up with something hilarious or cool. So it's like my nap, which is the worst and lamest thing to complain about.
I mean, it's just an emergency broadcast thing. So, like, if nukes are on their way, it's a presidential alert.
He's just testing to make sure that, you know how, like, 2 countries have sort of threatened us with nukes in the last few years here for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's making sure that's
It's not like
okay.
North Korea and I are having really classy talks. They're going to be like the best talks in the world.
They're the classiest, most elegant, A-grade, platinum experience talk you've ever seen.
Listen, we're having great talks with Russia. We're trying to we're trying to make friends with Russia. We're having great talks with True Korea. I really do hate that when I went there, I got brainwashed. We'll talk about that in a bit, though.
Well, I mean, the thing is with the presidents, like, they've been doing that forever for, like, Amber Alerts or whatever, and no one's been like, "Oh, you little piece of shit, you're interrupting me because a kid's in danger." No one's been saying that, but it's like...
Well, when the president's like, this is just to make sure that, people don't die in a flood.
That emergency broadcast grabbed me by the pussy.
Well, even more than that, though, like, that's the emergency broadcast system. So, like, that's like the little, like, thing that comes on the TV, and they're like, this is the test of the emergency broadcast system. This is, like, for even bigger than that. This is literally, like, nukes are on their way to us. Like, there's nothing you can do, but if you can do something,
like,
do
preppers
something.
Start the orgy.
Yeah, please, preppers, get in your bunkers.
Yeah. Everyone else, oil up.
Yeah.
Remember that show on Netflix?
Just hug your loved one until you're gone.
I do. That show.
It was actually a really interesting show. I watch all of my things on Netflix.
I hate Netflix. It's a shitty company. We're holograms. Netflix, you need to pay your employees more and stop having hologram rooms for $75,000. What's the matter with you? Peanuts. Anyway, let's move off of that. Let's try to get this. Let's try to get this back on the
So
start.
we're talking about Pathfinder, right?
Yes, we're talking about this.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Pathfinder, Starfinder. So Pathfinder, like, for me as a new player, what is it like? What is the most important thing to, like, know about it going in?
Well, the difference of it, I don't want to say how everybody says it's basically 3.5, which
That's
it is,
what I heard.
but that doesn't help
I've
when
never
you play.
played Pathfinder.
But me saying that to say something like Craig, who hasn't played 3.5 either, that doesn't help you.
No.
So you play Starfinder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely.
Look at our past videos.
I know. Listen,
Including
I watched all of our videos. But anyway,
You were in those videos.
I mean, was I, or was it more of the drink? Anyway, so imagine that more potent on the magic, so your wizards actually feel like wizards, but no guns. It's basically sword and sorcery. That's pretty much it for Starfinder and Pathfinder. It's a fantasy version of Starfinder. It's a really good system, but I'm sure you wouldn't have this problem because, one, you're smarter than me, and two, you're already used to doing all the math, but Pathfinder 2 still has a lot of math in it. There's still 3 different or 4 different armor classes in there. Flat-footed is a whole condition you have to worry about.
Do they keep feats?
They do keep feats. But they do.
Feats are so jumbled, it seems like.
In Pathfinder,
I never know what to take. I have a big long list of things, and it's like, alright.
You have to make certain prerequisites for each one. And, that's one thing
I
that
remember, I played 3.5, and the thing I didn't like most about 3.5 were the feats.
But that
so, I ended up just taking Jack of all trades every time, because it was, the most neutral.
Also, that is one good thing that I do want to praise Pathfinder about more. Pathfinder, everything Pazzo does over Wizard of the Coast, you can really make the character that you want to make in Pazzo's games because it is so freeform and open. It can give you that sort of that anxiety of having too many options to you.
Yeah, because if you want anxiety of too many options, play GURPS, where they have abilities like you can be overweight and choose if you're going to be a little chubby, fat, or thick with 4 C's.
But we chose thick with 4 C's.
And oh hell no.
And it helped us against ice damage.
Yeah, because there's that thing where it's like everyone, this demon was throwing ice everywhere, and everyone's like, oh, we're taking massive damage, and I'm looking at him like, wait a minute, I'm like, Lance, we're fine. And you're like, what? Because you're like, oh man, I'm down. I'm like, Lance, we're fat. And you're like, what? We're fat! We're fat!
And we didn't take any of the ice damage.
Yeah, which is like a small...
Why are you
red?
Evan, why are you so red and sweating? He's real into the, what are they, GURPS?
Yeah, listen, Evan's real into GURPS.
He's been holding his breath this whole time.
Listen, I'm faithful to both.
Yeah.
Polytheistic. I'm faithful to Shrek, skeletons, and Mr. Krabs.
That's gonna be red, but anyway, what's up?
So one of the things that I've had a challenge with Starfinder and Pathfinder is understanding kind of feats, skills, magic, and how they fit in. What would you say a new player has to learn about those types of things?
So for a new player walking into say Pathfinder, it's pretty much the same with any tabletop RPG. I hate to say maybe pick an easier class like a fighter or at the most a paladin for your first player.
Right.
But it does make sense to do that just so you can get a feel for how all the numbers and such work, and then you can ease into say your clerics or God forbid your rogues if you do want to make your brain explode.
Right.
The main thing that you want to really know coming up front if you're brand new to role playing games is when to roll your d20. And that if you're a solid role player, which means basically an actor on the table, that can easily get over any sort of any sort of fuzziness you do have about mechanics of the game.
Right.
Yeah, within reason,
Yes. It seems like I didn't answer your question though.
Well, so what is a feat per se?
Okay, so feats, those are a little special.
They're class specific.
No, actually, feats are not class specific.
Okay.
They're not. Feats are something that every class can get in the game as long as they meet certain prerequisites, like strength has to be a certain number.
I'm doing skills.
Yeah. Strength has to be I'll explain skills in a second. But they're basically little extra things that can really make your character seem different. Like, heavy armor master, where you're better with wearing heavy armor against, say, one fighter has heavy armor master, and another fighter doesn't take that, and instead they take a constitution increase.
Right.
Sort of thing. The more feats the game has, it can make things harder to get an angle on, but it does allow it to branch out. 5th edition has a lot less, so it's easier, but it's harder.
So it doesn't branch out as much, therefore you have less options.
Yeah, 5th edition, it's still
makes
fun,
playing harder.
Yeah. But they're different abilities. One feat I take is the mobile feat, just because for one it just adds 10 to your speed. But also what it does is it makes it so if you attack someone and then do your movement, you don't get an attack of opportunity. So from this, so as long as you attack and then you can run, so it's.
So it reduces the number of variables you have to worry about.
Is that a 5th edition or Starfinder?
It's a 5th edition.
Okay. Did you have a question about Pathfinder 2?
So I was about to say, couldn't you just compare a feat to kind of a perk in pretty much any game?
Yeah.
A perk in Fallout, a perk in anything.
That's a good.
Fallout 3 New Vegas. Fallout 4, you know what you did.
Yeah, that's a really good way of putting it.
The perks on your main class.
Yeah, so as long as the perk isn't class specific.
Yeah.
So because the class specific things, those are your skills. Those are things like, say, if you take, going back to 5th edition, because that's sort of that's sort of what I've been. That's the main thing that I play. And it's pretty basic. The class perks in 5th edition, say you're a fighter, there's 3 trees in like just the one of the player's handbook over there. Champion, Eldritch Knight, and Battle Master. Those are the sort of different trees that you can pick, and those are class specific. Yeah, well, no, fighter's the class, and the different perks and different trees that and different branches of that class are fighter, Eldritch Knight, Battle Master.
Those
Samurai.
are like the subclasses.
Yeah, and those give different perks that you don't really choose, but you get them.
The like subclass attributes.
Yeah, so 5th edition is more like, the best way to put it, 5th edition is more like Diablo 1 and 2, and then Pathfinder and Starfinder is more like, if anybody here has played Path of Exile, where the tree and the amount of things you can get, it's nauseating if you look at the whole thing. But if you want to pick one specific thing, you really can make that thing.
And you follow the path of the exile.
Yeah. And if you're inside playing Path of Exile all day, you're probably in exile. Like,
you're on the Path of Exile.
You probably are a societal.
Man, do you think they do it as like a meta thing? It's like, with this game, you play it, you shall be the path of the exile.
Actually,
You're still so red.
Listen,
I can't not look at you and see how red you are. Dude.
Listen, this is my gender, and how dare you, Nathaniel?
Hey,
Mr. Krabs.
Listen, I sexually identify as Mr. Krabs, and how dare you?
Alright, so I'm going to continue.
Yeah,
so anyway, my experience with Pathfinder, by the way, is pretty much 0. I've never played a Pathfinder game. I've only played D&D games.
And Starfinder.
I was getting to that. I have played Starfinder, which sounds like it is very similar. So, I mean, I just like Starfinder, I think I can, like, 100% just jump into a Pathfinder game.
Yeah.
Because I know I know the rules of D&D. I'm learning the rules of Starfinder. So, like, we could run a Pathfinder game.
Yeah, we could run the Pathfinder 2 playtest. And to be honest, one thing that I wanted to bring up here, if you have played any of the games, every game has its own different rule set. So really, try not to worry too much about that rule set there for each game, and try to more worry about the basic set for every game, which is make sure that you're a good player, like not just like your character is strong. Make sure like you mesh well with like the group, especially if you are new to the game. Because you don't want to be brand new and then just be like, hey, I'm so cool, everybody's just listening to me, and then you do it and then you don't know what's going on.
Or screaming for people to make you a sandwich.
Yeah. You want to tell that story?
No.
Come on, tell it.
No.
You want to tell that story?
No, we're going to move on.
That story is...
No.
It's in the... Listen, it's being examined by top men.
You can't
Nope.
Top men.
We also have an excessive amount of tab in our game sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Listen, I'm not sponsored by Tab, but I'll fight and die for Tab. I don't know why they can. That sounds funny.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, just as a new player, I noticed that there is, playing with some other new players at the same time, there was a challenge of people not playing their class. Like, I was playing Tank, and I was playing Paladin, up in the thick of it, and I got mangled. And my cleric was like, well, I don't want to get fucked up.
Oh my god!
They were playing some, tiefling, shapeshifter, and they, shifted into owl form and flew away. I was like, well, I'm fucked. And, everyone in the game is like, that you're the healer, right? And he's the tank. You have to kind of heal him.
That's also why,
keep him alive.
that also goes back to a session 0 is always necessary.
Yeah.
For every game, I think.
And so...
unless you've been playing with the same people forever and you already know how their games are ran.
Listen, if you're playing 5e, Human War Cleric. But if you're not, Evan, do you want to explain what Assassin Zero is and what makes a good one?
Yeah, so, we made a video about it, so watch the video. But if you're being lazy...
What about for people that are watching?
We'll link it in the description.
We'll
link it in the description.
Listen, no, but for those
we'll make someone else link it in the description.
Comment down below if I was an asshole.
Yeah, I'm a real New Jersey rascal. But basically what a session 0 is, it's when you come together before your first game. You can talk about who your characters are, just sort of introduce them to the rest of your players, and then the DM can also say, okay, if you haven't been playing in that world before, it's like, hey, this is my world. These are the generalities. Basically, it's the pre-tutorial cutscene if you will, for the world. And, saying, or if you're saying, hey, we're playing a module. Here's this. Don't read this module. Don't be that guy.
I think one thing that was helpful for me when I was playing campaign with another group was the DM basically took everyone aside individually and like gave them a task. Like, this is going to be like your ultimate mission through the thing, based on what they kind of told them what they wanted from the character. So like, right, give me a little bit about your backstory, and then once he got that, like a couple days later, he like basically sent an invitation. Right? And the invitation just kind of said, like, hey, you're being invited by the ruler of this land to do this. Cool. And, like, kind of gave you, like, some reason to be there. Because I know, like, Section 1 is always hard because, like, you suddenly are like, hey, we've just met each other, let's go adventuring.
And then also, if
so
you're playing
they kind of, like, combined a couple of the characters, so, like, 2 were already pre-traveling, and then moved into that. Sorry.
No, that's super
So
cool.
I was gonna say another big thing about a session 0 too is, especially if you're playing with players you've never ran a campaign with, you really need to know kind of their personality and what's going to offend them.
Yeah.
Like if they want to play a serious campaign, if they want to play kind of like a more comedy campaign.
Yeah.
What they're gonna be okay with. If they're gonna be okay with you, like
our seafaring one.
a little bit here and there. Like, you can derail very easily if you're not.
My character was all about with scoring with the second lieutenant of the ship. Like, first female that shows up, nice orcish women. I got that fetish for orcish women. So, gotta go for the orcish lady. Ended up in the sack with her. Got a lot of good perks from that, but at the same time, orcish women, you can't cuddle. And then she throws you out of bed, and then it's just no good.
And then you're like, good. And then you're like, where are we? And then she's like, we're on the ship.
So a good DM could refocus a group. I found that was kind of an interesting way to do it. It's like, okay, I'll let you have that, but I'm gonna make it turn against you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you suffer for this.
Yeah.
So the first opportunity I get, I'm gonna make this suck for you.
Yeah.
And that's a good. That's actually a really good point for DMs out there. If you ever feel like your game is derailing or anything like that, one good thing to do is just to say not be afraid to say, hey group, we're gonna take a second here to just refocus, make sure everybody's back on track. You might think that it'll slow a game down more than you might think it'll slow a game down, but it'll slow it down a lot more and probably grind to a halt if you let that sort of thing keep slowing down every time.
Have fun. That's the thing.
Have fun, but say for example, if you're all going to, I don't know, if you're all playing an evil campaign and you want to go sack this church, this holy god, and then one of your person's like, well, I'm a necromancer, but I'm a good lady necromancer, and I'm gonna go and make sure that these undead are going off to raise this, to help this farm or what have you. Well, gee, Sarah, that's really not what we're here for today. I've seen it happen in a couple games where one player does try to derail things.
Then you just got to turn the farmers into evil demons that were manipulating her the entire time, and sour her against the farmers.
Well, that does also cycle back to as a player, you should also be flexible with other players in the party. That if there's one person that really wants to complete this task, why not go along with them?
Yeah,
see how it pans out. So you have to play along with the DM. The DM needs to wrangle their players, but as a player, you also, you're part of the story. You're part of forming the story. The DM isn't there. The DM isn't going to write it all for you.
Well, yeah, so
you need to play off of the DM.
That's definitely a part of it, but there is one thing that I like to do in my games. Probably not so much in this one because I don't know what's going on with you guys. But
we got
we have no idea.
Everything's still red.
Listen, this is my life.
Oh, it's getting redder. All right.
Maybe every
we shouldn't have brought it up.
Maybe every tier of play, take your players aside, just make sure that they have 1 or 2 character goals that you're working to.
Yeah.
It's every again, a tier is every 4 or 5 levels.
Yeah.
So that shouldn't be too hard. You are red as shit. I know we keep bringing it up, but every time I look at you, your arms are white as you normally are.
Well, that's because,
Look at your face is just like you ran to a Raz patch, dude.
Yeah. Well, the last couple, I did go on that tanning machine for a minute.
No, this was just now because he hasn't been this red all day.
No.
Like he was fine, and then immediately, boom.
Look, I will say, there's a flamethrower on the table. I also have a raging boner.
Listen,
Listen,
come on. How can you not look at that and not be aroused?
Let's actually talk about that
Essentially.
flamethrower.
Jesus.
Tell us, Evan, tell us about your flamethrower.
It's my baby and I love it. Like, a lot of people say that when you become a parent, your
Will you
life...
show them, please?
Where did it come from?
When you become a parent, your life changes a lot of your life goals.
Come on,
Yeah.
stand up, dude. Give us a little Vanna White. Come on. There you go.
I mean, just
Show
don't
us
say
the top, show us the bottom.
Yeah.
Well, no, not the bottom. That's,
Give us a little QVC show
that's
here.
his baby part.
How much does
No,
it weigh? What do you
I'm
think it's
sorry.
made out of? How much is it
No
cost?
bits.
Yeah, it's the flamethrower I got because almost like a year ago when Elon Musk was saying, "Hey, I want to build underground pipes to alleviate traffic. Who wants to buy a flamethrower?" I was broke as hell and in between jobs, and I said, "I do," and my patience paid off. It's beautiful and it's fun. And I love it so much.
I believe you got it for a cool, what was it, 500?
Yeah, 500 buckaroonies.
They're selling them for like, I want to say like a few thousand now.
Yeah, and
Which, I mean, that's how much
because
I
it
paid.
took so long for him to come out, and
Well,
like,
I mean, a
and
few
also
thousand is how much I
people went
paid.
on the Elon Musk hype train too. Oh, the boring company, it's Elon Musk.
Well, it seems like that's really, I don't mean to knock your flamethrower, but that's really a form all over function because it's cool as shit and
Yeah.
rad as hell. But I paid, I want to say, $3,000 for my M1, my flamethrower. Shoots about maybe 75 feet.
I mean, I don't know if you want to be admitting to that on
No, I mean, I have it because, listen, what are you going to do to me? I have a flamethrower, cops. Also, it's legal in Utah. You can have a flamethrower here.
Oh man, I don't know.
I mean, it's obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so it seems like
I mean,
it's a real style piece for sure. It looks
Yeah.
cool. It looks like something out of Starfinder or Mass
Mass
Effect, but I mean,
I like it.
Yeah, it's
So-
really cute and pretty.
One thing I do want to say about it, like
Yeah.
aesthetically, it is very nice.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I am not too high on is you've got your propane tank that sits right on the top,
Yeah.
and like some of the propane tanks they're kind of ugly. So what would be nice is if you had a slip that goes over it to
Oh,
match the
yeah.
rest of the gun.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Not gun, it's a flamethrower.
Of course.
But like,
Yeah,
Of course.
It's
You have
actually.
to, you
That's
have
a
to
little
let it be free.
nitpicky.
I have to
You
stop
can't
everybody
have
right
a
here.
dirty,
I have to
grimy
Yeah.
Craig,
flamethrower.
I have to
Yeah.
stop you right here for legal reasons. We have to sit. Well, probably not. But it's actually marketed as not a flamethrower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do actually let people know that.
but you could make a
It's not a
slip for
flamethrower.
it. It wouldn't
It's
be that
a
hard.
glorified torch.
It's a very practical lighter.
Yeah.
It is.
Listen, it's just a lighter for lighting cigars and
Yes.
not tires.
Although I wouldn't put that within like 5 feet of my face.
I
Yeah.
do want to talk about how insane Elon Musk seems just on paper. It's like, okay, Elon Musk, what do you want to do? I want to send people into space. How do you do that? I want to by drilling holes into Los Angeles.
I'm gonna make a bunch of
Okay.
electric cars.
Okay, wow. Why are you drilling holes in LA for my electric cars? Okay. What are you gonna do next, Elon? What's going on with you? I'm gonna sell hats. No, that's boring. No flamethrowers. Oh my God! What are you gonna do with all that flamethrower money? I'm gonna shoot a rocket into space with one of my cars on it. What are you gonna do after that? I'm gonna land the rocket. Fire it up again.
On a barge in the ocean.
On the barge in the middle of the ocean. Oh my God! What are you gonna do after that? What are you gonna
And
do? What are you gonna do after that, Elon? I'm gonna get real high, and then he did.
No, what was after that was, hey, remember those kids that were saved from the mine? Let's put them back so I can save them.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I'm thinking that Elon
That's
Musk...
another thing he did though. Like
He did say,
full
let's
disclosure,
like try to put
he
them
did
back.
not say
and,
let's
like,
put those children back in the mine.
But he did say I could have done it better.
Yeah, he did say that he could have done it better, and then he and then
I don't need to be sued by Elon Musk.
He said he could have done that. He questioned the morality of this Navy SEAL who died in there, and then he got high.
Yeah, he smoked the devil's lettuce.
Yeah.
So here's the and because that
Also,
would like
if
make
you're
him
in
step
Utah in
down.
November, vote yes on Prop 2.
No on it. I want more pain in my state.
Alright, let's continue.
But so here's what I'm thinking. I think Elon Musk. I think he might be trying to be like an actual Bond villain. Either that or like
But there's no James Bond, so we just.
He's kind of like a Lex Luthor.
like Lex Luthor without a Superman. So
Because here's the thing,
I'm doing all these insane things, but no one's here to fight me.
Lex does a lot of good things in the comics, tons. But then he also uses the money from that to do terrible things
I feel like
directly to try and kill kill Superman.
That's really the only reason. That's really the only thing that's making. I just caught that. How dare you? That's really the only thing that's keeping Elon Musk from being a superhero. From being a supervillain is that there is no Superman here.
Right.
Because as soon as some Kryptonian comes down, he's like, well, and then here come the giant robots.
Well. Yeah, because also, aren't they making him step down in like the UK or something? Like, you can't smoke with devil's lettuce. That's a weird. That could be a bad influence for the children.
It's hard to feel bad for him because he's like a billionaire who fires rockets with cars on into space and sells flamethrowers and is internationally known as being a cool guy. His problems are small problems. If you have $1 billion, your problems are small problems.
Yeah. But listen. He could have $2 billion.
He does. He's a multi-billionaire.
Like he's losing out on $1 billion.
It's hard to feel bad for him. You know what?
Look, why can't he be like the guy from Virgin? Just own an island and then just like have an airline company and just do whatever you want to do.
Space stuff too.
I think so.
I think that he's still doing space stuff, but
but he's not crazy about it though. Like that's the thing. Like we're not looking at him going, he's a Bond villain, but he does own his own island in which he could do Bond stuff.
Oh shit! So he's actually a Bond villain.
We might be looking at the wrong guy. This might be a plot with the Virgin guy trying to make Elon Musk look crazy.
Oh my gosh!
So that he's the real villain.
So no one will
Elon Musk is the facade, the Ponzi.
Well, he's building up his volcano.
Right.
Elon Musk is like a DC Comics villain, and then it feels like the Virgin guy is like a Bond villain. They're doing the same role without an enemy. It's like, well, shit, I guess just guy with
Richard Branson, that's his name.
Yeah. He seems like a total sweetie too. He seems like
he does look like a Bond villain though. He's got the slick back hair.
He's got the really hot wife.
He seems like a
silver
sweetie.
fox look.
He seems like a sweetie compared to Elon Musk, who's doing space but louder and harder.
No, so who's an actual Bond villain is the McAfee guy.
Oh shit!
Oh, no, that guy's like living in the jungle in like Bolivia.
Have you seen some of his videos?
No.
Some of his videos, he's like, people have told me that they want to uninstall McAfee from their computer, and you know what I say? Fuck you. Like, he literally has a YouTube channel that he says that.
Well, that's good for him. Hey, by the way, McAfee guy, John McAfee.
Don't kill us.
Subscribe to our channel. I'll say whatever you want. I'll do whatever.
Make a video on your YouTube channel slamming us.
I challenge you to a debate right now. I'll challenge you right now. My antivirus system.
I don't have McAfee on my computer.
By the way, this is my antivirus system. If the computer's being weird, break it with a hammer, and then
it'll stop.
What do you think about that, John McAfee?
Yeah, I never thought about that.
Maybe.
You handsome bitch.
I don't know. It's a pretty safe
McAfee.
bet, you know. Like if ever you don't remember his name, John is a pretty safe.
Yeah.
John. Hey, John.
No, it's John.
My name's not John. It's Mike. It's like, well, that's close.
Close enough.
Listen, they both named.
Just call him John Smartin.
Oh my god.
You know what billionaire I do feel bad about?
Who?
President Trump. He's always gotten a bad rap. He's our greatest and most recent president.
And our most handsome president.
Oldest, too.
Oldest, yes. And that's
you know
what?
It takes a lot of cojones to be that old and be president at the same time.
And be that
president.
Perpetually upset.
John McCain tried it. He's old as shit.
John McCain's dead.
I know. That's how old he was.
Wow. You're going to have to cut that out.
Our first rich president.
No, it's going to look like a villain.
We have to cut that out now.
No, dude, we're keeping
it.
We were going to have this cut free, and then you're like,
all alive.
You had to bespeak national hero John McCain.
Listen,
wow!
If you're gonna send any hate mail, just remember to send it to 20sided9.
Comment below. Tell me how much
below.
you hate me, and also tweet. Go onto the Twitter and tweet us. I look at that all day.
Yeah. Also, don't curse, because also, Lil Zoe.
Yeah. If you swear at the channel, you're swearing at a little.
Yeah, you want to swear at a little.
Can I tell you what some Tumblr monsters did?
Oh, what?
Oh no, I know you know this, but that's what you two what some Tumblr monsters did.
All right.
So Zoe handles the Twitter, right?
Right.
Because I'm just bored and I just don't want to do it myself, and you don't have the time to do it all the time.
And she's adorable.
Yeah, she's fucking cute as shit, dude. She'll always be to me. But she was like, there was some person saying, girls can play D&D, girls can play D&D, and they're just like,
Yeah,
they were
girls
just
play D&D like
yeah,
a
like
thousand
1,000 times, and they were just baiting. And so my sister says, hey, is anybody actually stopping them from doing this, or is this just kind of bait, or something like that? And then like Tumblr got on, or like not Tumblr, but they respond from Tumblr, and they're like, how dare you? You said you oppressive males oppressing women, bro. Like, I'm actually just like a fucking 8-year-old girl, dude. Like, well, no, you're not. So yeah, that was kind of cute and funny.
Yeah, and then they were trying to sass like, I've seen your channel. Have a nice life. I mean, I've got a flamethrower, an AR-15 with googly eyes, a box full of alcohol. It's pretty cool right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your one is actually,
I have low self-esteem and a startlingly strong constitution. All right.
And me, I'm a sociopath who butchers brunette women outside of San Diego.
Not again.
And I really need to go to the bathroom.
Alright, let's go pee.
I don't think I can do it
Nathaniel,
on
here,
this
wait.
table.
Nathaniel,
You're the only one that can start one.
Nathaniel, I'm going to drink this.
No,
and
I'm
you can
gonna
go
drink
pee.
it.
No, just get up and go pee. It's fine.
I'm gonna go pee.
Alright. I'm not going to cut this.
No, I hope you don't cut it.
No, we want to hear you taking a pee-pee.
I don't think the microphone
Hey,
will
while
pick
you're
that
taking
up, will
pee
it?
though,
Huh?
I'm gonna steal your baby.
Oh, shit.
It's a daikini.
Yeah. Little sweetie.
I stole your
This
baby
candle is nice.
while you were taking your pee.
You're nice. Alright, so while he's going pee-pee, I figured now would be a good time to talk about the, what do you guys want to talk about, the Joker trailer?
Let's talk about Nathaniel's list of fears and his weaknesses.
Ooh, touche. So, number one,
Nice.
gotta be the hair.
Yeah,
Gotta be the hair.
he has nice hair. Number two,
I feel like
strong
it's
string.
It's a string. I feel like if we cut his hair,
Like Samson
all
from
of
the
his
Bible.
strength, yeah, exactly, and then he won't be able to slay us with a jawbone of an ass.
Yes.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
And it's too beautiful. Like, if you cut it off, they'll just be like, no.
Yeah. Hey, you know what you didn't do?
I'm gonna wash my hands.
Yeah, how dare you?
Why wouldn't you wash your hands?
You're gonna give us all ringworm, are you happy?
This is how you get pink eye.
This is why we can have nice things.
So,
I'm just trying to make it back in time.
what timer do we have?
I don't know.
How dare you?
I hope the mic picked that up.
It did, I watched.
Are you going to pee?
Yeah, I picked
Definitely
a very powerful stream.
super.
Alright.
And they actually, Nathaniel was the most powerful stream in the game.
By the way, I was impressed at the strength and length of your stream.
Yeah, we all, yeah,
Thank
we,
you.
Yeah.
we all
And the
knew
tone.
that.
It was very consistent, not like a sputtering. It was very, very.
We should
impressive.
also do Twitch streams now that we're talking about
Twitch streams of our
up and
streams.
down. But,
We should cross our streams.
but actually, one thing that I did want to ask you guys about, how would you feel about doing like a game of 5e or even Starfinder on a Twitch stream?
Absolutely. Yeah.
do
Cool.
that.
Yeah?
I would
Instead of our
say,
current format, or?
I don't know. One thing I like is being in the room. If we do a Twitch stream, we probably will need to
No, that's lame.
not be in the same room.
Well, we could with a webcam.
I mean, aren't those... I'm pretty dumb, so would that not work, or?
I mean, it would.
Might.
One of the hardest
Might.
parts is interaction. So
If anyone wants to help us with this, comment below or email us at 20sidednight@gmail.com.
And it looks like we actually can't do this. We can't use Roll20 as a service to play D&D on anymore because apparently the guy who runs Roll20, the one of the founders, is a bastard.
Yeah.
Daniel, do you want to
Well,
talk
no,
to
Lance,
someone?
here's the thing.
No,
We're not
I
a group of, Lance, we're not a group of just white guys. There's you, so.
Oh, hey, look at that! Yay!
Everything okay?
Hey, yes, we're fine.
you're adorable.
We love you. But yes, we actually don't worry about that. We actually aren't just a group of
that was his little sister.
We actually aren't. Yes, I might. Well, he sounds like a man. Smokes 5 packs a day.
Like
in a biker gang in
like
the
Dr.
Patriots.
Mr.
Yes. Let's actually talk. Well, we'll go back to this later. But who here saw the new Adventure? Who's watching the current season of Adventure Brothers? Except for me.
I'm not. I'm waiting for it to finish so I can binge watch it.
Oh, okay.
So
been
I haven't
disconnected
started
for a
it
couple
yet.
seasons.
What's that?
I've been disconnected for at least 2 seasons.
How dare you?
But
I
Adventure
know.
Brothers is one of my favorite shows. It is better than Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Fight me.
What? I will
Fight
fight
me.
you.
It actually,
I'll
it
cut
is
your
a lot
hair
better.
first, though, because
It
I'm
is
not sure
better
I
than
can
Rick
I
and
can
Morty.
depend on having
There's 3 reasons why Venture Brothers is better than Rick and Morty. One, obvious, the fans.
Yeah, okay.
with Venture Brothers,
true.
you
No
don't have a
one's-
bunch of people walking around saying, "Hey, I'm smarter than you because I enjoy this cartoon."
'Cause
It
I
takes
know
a lot.
I've
of
heard the
way.
term
It
quantum
takes some
physics.
high level learning to like Rick and Morty. I get what you're saying. It's like a lot of series, like where the fan base actually ruins it for you.
Yeah,
like Lady Gaga, I can't honestly watch her anymore because her fan base is absolutely toxic.
Is it?
Like I can't be a fan. I can't be a fan. Same with Beyonce. I love you, Beyonce.
I don't know
You're a
about
great
that.
person, but like the Queen Bees, they ruin you. I'm sorry.
What is it like? Is she the queen bee? Or?
She's the Queen Bees, but they're the
right?
Beehive. I'm sorry.
Oh,
They're
okay.
the Beehive.
Gotcha. It sounds terrible.
Yeah.
And Benedict Cumberbatch,
another thing
his
that's good about
fans are called the Cumberbitches.
Yeah.
Gross. And now, okay,
It's
another
true.
thing.
That's
true.
Well, back to Venture Brothers for a second. Another reason why Venture Brothers beats out Rick and Morty is actually that there's less like just random dick jokes that I feel like Rick and Morty sort of coast on.
Like
it's
Family
funny.
Guy jokes.
Yeah,
That's
it's
true.
funny. It is funny, but it seems like a lot of it's dick jokes, but overlaid with just like a smidgen of like just science talk. And it strokes its audience, saying, "Oh, you're smart for getting us. All you need is us."
I feel like Rick and Morty does tend to get darker, though I will say Venture Brothers has some
I
really
mean,
dark
Venture
moments.
Venture Brothers gets kind of dark.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm just
And
saying,
then also,
like...
it seems like each arc in it is a sort of like a character study of each character in Venture Brothers, so it seems more
Yeah.
robust. I don't like it too much when they do that too much. I do like some of the humor that Rick and Morty does, and like some of the action sequences could be better, like how in the first and second season was.
Yeah.
But it seems like Venture Brothers is trying to slow down, while a lot of the other Adult Swim shows are really ramping up the insanity.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Like your
Yeah.
Pretty Face
Like
is going to hell.
Tim and Eric.
Or Tim and Eric.
Or Eric
They
Andre.
have that perfect time slot there. We're like, oh god, and then Venture Rose comes
They
down
go
like
full on Adult
Swim. Like, to let you go to bed.
Yeah, to like just, oh, it's a stream of colors and nightmares, like that show that's just about colors and nightmares they have on there now.
Right.
Yeah.
The show's about right.
I
It's like it's like a dream show or whatever that's on there.
Oh, Tim and Eric's Dream or whatever.
No, there's that one. It's just when like where these scientists are in the room, and if you know what I'm talking about, do the thing. But it's just about like them talking. Like it's just there's some scientists guys that are studying dreams in the show.
Oh, the Dream Cops are.
Yeah,
I've seen
yeah,
a little bit of.
yes.
I don't have cable, so maybe
Oh.
it's just me
I'm
watching
sorry.
shit off of YouTube that I see that people pirate on there where they like flip the images.
You're a piece of shit, Evan.
Yeah.
Evan does have Netflix, though.
Why
Yeah.
do you keep bringing up Netflix? It's a shit service and
Because
Iron.
you love
And
Netflix.
listen, it's a shit service and Iron Fist seasons 1 and 2 are trash, and I want my time and money back.
What?
So listen, Iron Fist 1 and 2, and then also part of the Defenders and like
What about
the
Luke Cage?
last time.
How
didn't-
goddamn dare you?
Listen, those shows are so awful that it can barely be considered entertainment. That the American people should file a class action lawsuit on them for labeling that as entertainment.
I feel like Luke Cage 2, like
Yeah.
season 2, and Iron Fist season 2, I felt like they were good.
I'm talking Iron Fist season 1.
Until you get to the end of season 2 of Iron Fist, and then you're like, fuck you. But, I mean, like, we'll see where it goes. I mean, it's not like they didn't pull it from the comics. It's just kind of like, I hope you really don't continue with this from the comics, because that was short-lived in the comics. So it better be short-lived in this show.
Yeah. What do you guys want to talk about? You guys want to talk about Fallout 76, or I keep bringing up the Joker movie and I keep getting shot down terribly?
I mean, we
You
can talk
see the
about the
Joker
Joker
movie.
movie.
What?
Do you want to hear what I think about the Joker movie?
Wait,
I
first,
do.
which one? Walking Phoenix or Jared?
Walking
Because
Phoenix.
they're both getting it.
Oh, fuck Jared Leto.
That's
No.
Suicide Squad 2.
Like
Oh,
that.
Suicide Squad 2 and
No.
Oh, wait, they're making
Well,
a sequel to your favorite
I
movie.
thought one was
They are
for the
making
Suicide
Birds of
Squad.
Prey.
That sounds. I can't say what it sounds like, but it does rhyme
It's
with what I'm
DC.
saying.
It's
Birds
it's
of Prey
Harley
sounds
Quinn.
really.
Like, yeah.
It sounds terrible.
I,
But
okay.
I got
you were
that
saying-
one. I get,
Yeah, I have very cerebral jokes, and you should actually feel proud of
I
yourself
do.
for knowing the jokes I'm
Oh,
saying.
I'm
a
so
little bit
much
ashamed,
fun.
though. A little bit.
Listen, here's the thing. I feel like I'm on par with Albert Einstein.
Yeah, did you got this? I'm glad.
I think you mean
I'm glad you
Rick
mentioned.
Sanchez.
I'm glad you mentioned the one smart guy you know. What's up?
But Joaquin Phoenix,
Mm-hmm.
is going to be the Joker in a standalone Joker movie, right? We don't know if Batman's going to be in it or any other casting.
So Batman won't be in it because it's set in the 80s, first of all.
Right.
So it's set in the 80s, and then...
It's not like Batman didn't exist in the 80s, I'm just saying...
but his parents were still alive. Wait, were his parents still alive in the 80s?
See, Nathaniel, I think you're talking out of your ass
Yeah,
here.
you're talking out of your fucking ass.
No, it is in the 80s.
Oh, no, go on.
It's based in the 80s.
I want to
Yeah,
say
let
just
him
slaughtered
finish.
by
Let
the
him
top.
actually
No,
comment.
it is. It's based in the 80s, and it's probably gonna be an origin. Kind of going to, like, I've seen people say that it's kind of gonna be like Killing Joke, like the origin there.
So it's going to be like the Killing Joke without Batman.
No, his origin. You didn't listen to what I said. I'm talking about the Joker.
I don't know why you brought up the Killing Joke. Well, the Killing Joke is
Killing
very hard
Joke-
to do without Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Killing...
No,
No, I said in Killing
Just
Joke,
let
they were
him punch
doing
himself
an
out.
origin.
Okay?
They're
so,
doing
I really wish I knew
the
the
Joker's
song, but this is
origin.
about just
So, with,
like
okay,
they
so
did
if
in
it is
Killing
the Killing Joke, if it is the Killing Joke,
Okay.
It's not the Killing
no,
Joke.
if it is anything like the Killing Joke here, and it follows, we're just going to use the Jack Napier version, because there's three, but
Right.
how does he fall into the vat of chemicals without Batman being there?
Yeah.
Does he?
A stick of butter?
I don't know the origin.
So you just brought up the Killing Joke just to bring it up?
So
I said
there's...
it's supposed to be an origin. Like, it's supposed to be Joker origin for this movie, just like how in Killing Joke, they touched on Joker origin.
I feel like we can
I
do
wasn't saying they're going to lift Joker origin from Killing Joke. I just said that it's like I was just comparing it.
I feel like we could do an entire episode about how weirdly crazy that theory is.
No, listen.
but
It's true.
like no, because like I get what he's saying. Like there's different origins of Joker, but then
Yeah.
it opens up the conversation of like which Joker is it? We get to like the Mobius chair and like
Are
the
you talking
revelations to Batman about
that
there
weird
being
demon
three
thing that he was
and
for a bit?
yeah, like and then there's like there is the origin where Batman kicks him into the chemicals on accident, tries to save him. Ends up being the Joker. There's also one where he's pre-existing. You know, basically like the Batman Begins. I mean, that's not Batman's fault. That's completely independent
But
Joker.
I mean, that's
so like,
probably the same reason why the Joker is still the Joker is because of it's really hard to have a Joker origin without him. One of the things that I thought that was crazy about that too is that they redo the Joker's origin for every generation, Nathaniel. So there was one where he was back in the 60s. There was one where he was basically in like, what was it, the 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
And then there was one where he was in the 60s. And then there was one when he was in the 80s. And then it's the one where... So...
Now the 80s one is typically like kind of like your golden age of comics, right? You're like that's the Joker that a lot of us associate to.
Yeah.
So like
And
the
this
one
one
that's
does it
from
for
the
the
80s is probably the one you know.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're really into Adam West stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say my question was gonna be, what's the origin story for the Adam West Joker? Is it?
Yeah, he's just like a
It was
clown
just some
kid.
guy who showed up one day. He was like, "Hey, I got this makeup and I got a gun. I wrote
think-
Pagliacci, but just the second hand of it."
I think this band ICP is gonna be a thing.
But I think
oh my god, what if that is the new direction they're taking the Suicide Squad Joker into?
Just clowning
appealing
daggers.
to the just appealing to the Juggalo audience.
just from what I saw in the trailer,
Yeah.
I would say Joaquin Phoenix, there's this weird altercation with a clown and he tosses his nose. So they're like, it's just so weird. His character's like kind of this Crispin
Almost like
Glover
Dead
kind of looking
Inside.
character.
Yeah.
And, I don't know if Crispin Glover's kind of a creeper, and I want to talk about Crispin Glover later.
All right.
But, he has this kind of weird 1960s kind of haircut in an 80s era, and he looks out of place. So he's kind of playing this outcast in just the short thing that you see. So it's kind of going to be interesting to see how that character morphs into a supervillain.
So do you? Because I'm kind of hoping there's actually not going to be much action in this new Joker movie.
No, I don't think so. I think it's a very cerebral film, and I think it's going to be. I think it's going to hit you in the gut.
Yeah, maybe it's like the most action's like him maybe stabbing somebody, like him eventually falling into being a serial killer, and then it's.
I feel it's like watching The Mechanic.
Oh yeah.
But the Joker's the character you're watching morph into this situation of in The Mechanic it's insomnia, but in this one I would assume it would be the madness of the Joker.
And
Yeah, the chaos.
Decisions and yeah.
And
just being kind of dead inside and going back to alcoholism and then eventually slaughtering brunette woman outside of San Bernardino.
I'm gonna move on.
So, what about Bigfoots turning people into Bigfoots? Because y'all know how why Bigfoots can't be seen. It's because if you see a Bigfoot too good, you
They have
become
this
a
aura
Bigfoot.
around them that makes all your cameras shoot really blurry.
But no, but also if you see a Bigfoot, you become a Bigfoot.
Oh shit!
That's actually why there's not a lot of Bigfoot.
It's like the
out
curse of
there.
the Wendigo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shoot,
But-
I don't know what the hell we're talking about.
No,
right
but
now.
also because with the Bigfoots, they also live underground in what the United States calls Wyoming.
We all know that doesn't exist.
Yeah, just listen. The Wyoming is it's a
Nobody's
fake.
ever been to
It's a
Wyoming.
fake area that the CIA makes us believe, and then they because in this Wyoming is
I'm getting real lost. I'm getting real red. We're gonna move on to Fallout 76.
Yeah, I was
That's
just
what I want to talk
segueing.
about. A multiplayer online Fallout.
Just
massively
talk about you
multiplayer.
becoming the Joker for real.
Massively multiplayer Fallout. Do you think it's going to go the same way as Elder Scrolls Online, where it's a good concept, but there's something just not quite right about it?
I've seen a little bit of the gameplay, like the sample gameplay they've shown at the conventions,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to say, like, I feel like it has the way. It's going to go one of two ways. It's going to go one where it's like the MMO ESO type thing, where you kind of do your own thing, but you can interact with other players. The other way it could go is it turns into Sea of Pirates or Sea of Thieves. Yeah.
How have you played it?
I have, and it's toxic.
Jesus.
Community is awful. Basically, I mean, you're super rewarded for killing other players, which, I mean, PUBG and like there's other games that have really built on that model. I just feel like if you're going into it with the idea of playing a Fallout game, which is very creative and independent playing, story driven,
Yeah.
but you're going to go into this one and you're going to get griefed to hell and back. And then you're going to be like, well, fuck you, Bethesda. And that's what my worry is. I hope what they do is they make it so that when you participate in PvP, it's more that you want to participate in PvP rather than rando assholes just came and decided to be assholes on your face. And
And then came
I got
raided
teabagged
your
more
property.
times than I ever wanted to admit.
Like this, you play for like an hour, all of your settlements and land is destroyed.
Yeah.
People
Oh,
are just
man.
calling you just whatever they want. What's up?
It's Minecraft all over again.
Everyone in your
you
settlement
spend all
that you
that
just
mining, and some like 13-year-old comes and steals all of your diamonds.
Oh no.
And then someone starts swearing on your Christian Minecraft
Oh,
server.
see what
Yeah.
happens?
We had to shut down our Christian Minecraft server. It just got too bad.
Listen, there was
Yeah.
two people saying
heck,
and
heck,
and
heck.
and the S word.
And also, fuck. Let's
Whoa!
talk about Venom. You saw Venom, right?
I did see
Were you
Venom.
disappointed?
So no spoilers.
Yeah, how'd you think of it?
How does the movie end?
I can do a spoil. I can do a spoiler.
No
for you.
No spoilers.
I can do-
just
I
when
can do-
Stacy show up.
We'll get to that in the next trailer. So, all right.
Next trailer.
So,
That reminds me, I was supposed to look something up.
if you look up the Rotten Tomato score of Venom, it is sitting at 30%. But I would also read the reviews that are negative in there too, because a lot of them will say like people are not we're expecting this movie to be just your standard Marvel movie.
Mm-hmm. Oh, with just like 30 minutes
Your
dialogue.
standard Marvel
slow scenes
movie,
and
yeah. Like
Okay.
this movie is 100% going to turn into a cult classic film. Cause like honestly, it is. I would say it's more of a love story than an action movie.
Wait, so who's in love? Is it Venom and Eddie Brock?
And Eddie
or is
Brock.
it nice?
No, 100%. Venom and Eddie
Oh,
Brock.
I love it.
They're in
Venom a
love.
lot.
They are 100% boyfriends, and it
Did
is
you
a.
just assume Venom's gender?
Ooh!
No,
And
how
it
dare
is,
you?
and
How
it is
dare
a
you?
fantastic movie. I do want to see it again.
How dare you?
So you Eddie Brock embraces Venom when he gets him. So is what you're saying?
At the beginning, no, but he does embrace it pretty quick.
Is that a spoiler?
Because
No.
like
Okay,
one of the
it's
things
not.
that I always like hated about like some of the ways they brought Venom in is they making this conflicted character, whereas Eddie Brock in the comics is very much like
I love it.
he ends up like very much an ally to Venom, and he brings Venom like away from his like I don't know. Eddie Brock, in my opinion, is misunderstood, and by the end of it, like when he dies in the comics, if you will. Everyone dies in Marvel comics.
There's a new Venom out there.
But then they get brought back.
How do you think Flash Thompson comes into existence having like
when a mom and daddy love each other very much.
No, but he goes
that's
out.
like
He
Flash
goes
Thompson.
out in true anti-hero type fashion.
They're
He
definitely
is
going
very much a
anti-hero.
Deadpool character.
Yeah,
He
they're
doesn't-
100%.
He never really set out to be a villain. However, like they
Sometimes
have
you
a
gotta-
grudge against Spider-Man, so there's like a natural affinity to do things that fuck with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But at his core, he wasn't a super villain. He was more of an anti-hero.
Yeah.
Which I thought was like.
Now Carnage was a
Good.
super villain.
Yeah, no, there are
He
symbiotes
was a
that are.
good boy.
Carnage is a good boy. He didn't hurt anybody. He didn't deserve none of this.
Well, in this movie there are more symbiotes than just Venom.
Right.
Don't tell me anymore.
They show that in the trailers.
They do show it in the trailer.
I want to see.
They
this
show it
movie.
in the trailer.
I know, but I
It's
feel
not
like
a spoiler.
Did
Yeah,
the
but
Yerks show up?
Who?
The Yerks. See, I'll just think of some.
yeah, we're just gonna
No.
Classic animal. Listeners,
So, actually, what we should talk about next. So, this really isn't a Venom spoiler either. Like, it's pretty public.
Better
Like,
not.
so, there are two after credit scenes. One is a after credit scene. The last one is just a trailer for Into the Spider-Verse, expanding upon it. So, actually, it's more of a scene for Into the Spider-Verse. And, like, if you've watched recent trailers that have come out for it, they do reveal that, like, your point of view character is still Miles Morales. You've got Peter Parker, it looks like, in his universe. And then they also reveal Gwen Stacy.
Oh, cool. I think I saw Madam Web in there too, right?
There's at least 5 of the Spider-Man.
And there's the
there?
Spider Pig.
Yeah, I was gonna say
There's
Spider
Spider
He's
Pig.
one of the 5.
And then there's the
Yeah.
the
There is Spider Pig. I don't know if he has the Spider Pig theme song of Spider Pig.
Well, no, we don't want to get the copyright strike.
Spider Pig does.
Stop singing too well.
but, and then
Don't be
there's
playing from the web.
I don't think so. He's a Spider Pig.
There's also the
Okay,
Spider
good thing.
Noir.
God, your golden pipe almost got its copyright strike.
No, you can't do that. It's a live version. If I played the original, you can
Oh,
call it.
okay.
But like the animation style looks really interesting.
They
On
still
it.
do
Like,
it.
I'm
Touche.
looking forward to it.
Back on the Doom.
Back on the
Back
Doom,
on the
we didn't
Doom.
even bring up
One
Doom.
thing I actually did want to bring up with the Spider-Man.
I just felt like the Doom that was
This
constantly
Spider-Man.
here, bubbling below the
Yeah.
surface, just drawing me back to San Bernardino.
But I think there was something that I got from the trailer that I wanted to like
No more.
go back to, which is like there was a series back in like 1999, I think it was, and it was I think it was Spider-Man Unlimited. I just pulled it up here,
Oh, okay.
and like they kind of covered the idea of there being multiple Spider-Man across the dimensions.
The Spider-Verse.
And,
there was the game too.
Yeah, so
Oh, yeah,
like
good game.
I feel it'll be interesting to kind of see them expand that maybe. I think the game actually kind of plays into that with like the suit types. A lot of the suit types
Yeah,
reflect like different
PS4 version
different
that
Spider-Man
just came out.
versions.
Oh, I was supposed to get that one, but I didn't.
So
That's all I gotta say about
I think it'll be nice that all of that kind of ties in all together.
Back on Spider-Man, did you hear about those kids in California who were praying to Spider-Man 2 on the PS2?
No.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
heretics.
yeah, you've seen it, right?
Yeah, they're heretics.
It's
Not praying to
insane,
Shrek.
right?
Wait, did they get trapped in a mine and
No,
Elon Musk was
so
going to come and try to save them?
You know how kids have stupid fads that we should all hit them for? So there's a fad going on. It's dumb. Kids, stop doing it. Pray to Yahweh. About kids praying to Spider-Man 2 on the PS2.
Oh, okay.
And it's been going around there. I don't know why they do it, but it's insanity.
This is why we should show Shrek in our schools.
Do we though?
Look, ogres are like onions.
I
Okay.
guess that'd be a step
They've
back.
got layers.
But you think it'll be worse now that it's Spider-Man 4 on the PS4?
Same with Shrek movies.
Dude,
Shrek
it's like-
movies also have layers.
It's like amplifying the power of their god by
shit.
multiple
Yeah.
power. Yeah.
But here's the
So
thing.
absolutely.
Here's the thing.
We should fear it a
Yeah.
little bit.
I'm afraid of it. I don't want my synagogue to be toppled anymore than it already has.
Listen, so what we should do though is they should release another Shrek film. Because here's the thing: every time
Dude, 2019, there's one.
Oh, really?
You guys gonna be Shrek in 2019. President announced it.
The president.
Yeah.
Then you got in for a Trump.
You just got trolled, dude.
Is
You just got
Kanye
trolled.
West
Listen.
gonna be in it?
No, I don't
really
know.
wanna
No,
hear.
there's gonna be a new Shrek in 2019. Yeah, because he was tired of that meme going around where it was like the Bush administration, Shrek 1, Obama administration 2 and 3. Why no Shrek movie?
Well, you brought up
Oh,
Doom.
there's also the
I did bring up Doom. I did bring up Doom.
We have
you guys
Doom
saw the
Eternal?
trailer for Doom Eternal. What do you guys feel like? Did anybody here play Doom, the 2016 one?
I did.
You
Yeah.
said you play without the music, right?
Yeah. So I have a hard time listening to heavy metal for long periods of time, although I do appreciate the soundtrack.
Okay, good.
But I found that the game is a lot more ominous when you turn the music off.
Because no, the soundtrack, it makes it sound like you're this badass guy who's going
Yeah.
out and murdering.
Exactly, but then when the music's off, you're just like some crazy guy with a chainsaw killing demons.
Which
And like the
is basically
demons are like really all over the place, and
Yeah.
you hear them, every single one of them
You're
trying to
not
kill
even
you.
sure if they're actually demons or if you just dropped your Abilify. You're just like, oh shit, well.
Plus, like, I don't know if it's like the concept of being on Mars, whether it was like, you know, that old Total Recall, but like you have that irrational fear of your helmet coming off and then your eyeballs and tongue being pulled out, even though that's not necessarily a thing.
You think that's why Elon Musk is so crazy? He wants us to get to Mars for Doom stuff?
Yeah, maybe there's like demonic runes there that he's trying to read.
Or
he's
collect-
coming in.
In his sleep, he says, why?
Or maybe they're
fire
collectibles
part of a
there.
rocket, why smoke the devil's lettuce? And he got to go up there.
Oh no! Do you think
Go to
it's,
Mars.
no? It's because he was listening to Led Zeppelin. One of his hooligan friends came
listened
and
to
they
Stairway to Heaven
no,
backwards?
yeah, they touched the record and they played it backwards like. Sing it!
Oh my
Let's build a rocket to Mars!
Jesus.
Yeah, he was gonna be a good church boy before that too.
Well, good he's not.
No, but
rockets.
I am super excited. The gameplay is always incredible. The game looks awesome.
Every scene of the first Doom, it looks like in the trailer too, looks like it could be on a heavy metal poster, which I absolutely love.
Right.
Like it looks freaking great. All the guns, like nothing really seems like low key or out of place. Even like there isn't a multiplayer option to Doom, and it's just as insane as you think it would be. It's just it doesn't slow down at all.
Yeah.
I think it would be interesting to have a co-op Doom at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get better because I've only played Doom 1. Favorite level is Nirvana.
Oh my god, do you want me to download Doom 2016 on your Xbox?
Yeah, totally. But the funny part about Nirvana is the first thing you see in that level is just a 12 gauge.
Oh my god.
No Kurt Cobain.
Oh yeah. Well, he's in a worse place now.
Yeah,
If you could, so we don't go to Valhalla.
true. Gotta listen to Odin.
Yeah, you said you talked about what was it, Harvey Birdman, right? You.
Harvey Birdman?
Hey, you're still red. Anyway, you said that you talked about it.
Listen, I want to be a Power Ranger.
You said that you saw the trailer for Harvey Birdman, right?
Well, there's no trailer. They just pretty much
Oh,
announced
really?
with Venture Brothers that they were bringing back like a short Harvey Birdman special.
Oh god, so it's just gonna be like the '90s. It's gonna be coming back because we have
Uh.
Doom. Listen, Doom is new. There's
another Jumanji.
Yeah, there's another Jumanji. We have our greatest president officer
But-
we can all get behind. There's a new Harvey
Well, Harvey
Birdman.
Birdman, attorney at law, not the talk show. I guess he's going to be at Congress or something like that.
Yeah, Harvey.
So it's Harvey Birdman, attorney at law, not the
The
yeah.
talk show is Space Ghost, dude.
Yeah,
That is Space
Ghost.
Ghost. I got it confused for a
How dare
second,
you,
but
dude.
no, it's
Listen, they had Jim
Harvey
Carrey.
I
Birdman.
trusted you for years.
They had
The only reason
stuff
why
like
we're
Jim
friends
Carrey
is because
promoting
of
a
Harvey
mask.
Birdman knowledge. But how dare you?
Your deep Birdman lore knowledge.
I think I'm ready for Peter Potamus to come back.
Oh yeah.
You
Good
know,
thing
I do want to find out what thing he sent me.
Yeah.
I feel like if they do, it's gonna be disappointing. I kind of hope they never do because it's gonna be
Yeah, they've hyped up for so many years.
Yeah.
You know, nothing can ever. Unless it's like
it took them
Half-Life
forever.
3.
They hyped up for so long, and you can give you this bullshit and heresy.
Yeah, unless he's like, hey, do you get that thing I sent you? And then it's just, when you do get it, it's just Half-Life 3.
I was gonna say a steaming box of disappointment, but then like you said Half-Life 3, and I was like, oh, same thing.
Yeah. Ooh, take that, Gabe Newell. Piece of shit. I don't know why I'm getting so hyped. I've never played Half-Life, and I couldn't really care less about it.
Yeah, I did, and it could use a 3, it couldn't, I don't really care. But I did want to ask you, Magic and Starfinder sucks. What would you do to help that? It legitimately, I'm sorry if you guys play Technomancer or Mystic there at home, but dude, it's not as good as 5th edition, it's not as good as Pathfinder. Magic and Starfinder is really lacking.
Well, because I get the whole thing that they're going for, where it's like, you know, Magic isn't as cool as it was because it's like, if someone's like, ooh, I can cast Burning Hands, and someone's like, yeah, same here, and I didn't have to go to you know, wizard grad school to be able to do that.
Yeah, you can just be I'm a good friend. You can just be like, you know.
Aren't you supposed to sip that? I'm just kidding.
Listen, Mama Lamb didn't raise no bitch.
Ain't no beach, no
Jesus,
bitch.
I mean, fuck, I was sipping it.
But
You gonna get too fast?
So back to Evan's mom. One of the first times I met her, she asked me if I knew CPR.
Why?
All we were doing was moving a fridge, and she's like, "Do you know CPR? Like in case we like drop this fridge or something?"
yeah,
Your mom is a nice lady.
She wants everyone to be able to save a life.
Yeah.
Also, she's real into Pokemon Go.
Let's take a life.
Yeah, she'll beat your ass. Listen, here's the thing. My mom's the reason they haven't made that.
Do you want to talk about
Yeah, my mom's the reason why they haven't released that thing where you can battle people, because my mom would just Shrek everyone.
I forget.
Like, she's level 40. She's like, oh, I've got like 4 Mewtwo's and a shiny ho-ho. But she still does adorable mom things, like she called Magikarp Golden Carp. Which was funny because it was a shiny Magikarp.
Alright, so I believe this fucking guy has some topics he wants to go over.
Well, I was just gonna go through some news that I had written down.
Oh shit.
Like some subjects that we can kind of hit.
Oh shit, the news segment. Now I can't say that last word with an N. Well, I can, but I don't want to.
No, you're the only one who can.
My name is Alex.
Oh shit.
I'm a triple-decker holodeck.
Okay.
You're a false triple decker.
Yeah,
False prophet.
He is the only pilot I've
Shame
ever
me.
needed.
It gives me power.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Massive power.
You are your false avatar.
Alright, so one thing, going back to Venom, one thing I forgot to mention, it is pretty much going to get a sequel, is what we're already seeing, is because it's opening up as the largest, like, highest grossing movie for a Thursday, October opening, like, of all time. It's got the record already, and, like, it's only going up, so, like, it's pretty, like, we're probably going to see a sequel already.
I feel like we do, but with the bad press, I mean, man, you just never know what's going to happen.
You can't trust Rotten Tomatoes because they
I didn't trust them. I'm just saying, like, bad press.
Rotten Tomatoes, they trashed the Batman Superman movie and also Justice League pretty hard, but they really praised the newest 2 Star Wars movies. Yeah. It seems like they just want to say what they.
But those bad reviews
popular.
did potentially kill the Justice.
Which sucks
Justice
because
League.
Justice League
It was a fun movie.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not the biggest DC fan, but it was a fun movie.
Yeah, you
I
like
like it.
One day we will do a video about Batman vs Superman where we discuss exactly why it's a good movie, but we can't cover that today.
Alright, yeah, we don't have time. We kind of cover his. We got to cover his list. We got to cover the Kavanaugh hearings. We got a lot. Confirmation, spoilers.
Let's see. Assassin's Creed Odyssey just came out.
Dumb.
I haven't bought it. Like
they jumped the shark by giving you a
out. Yeah.
Assassin's Creed jumped the shark by putting a unicorn in the game. I mean, once
Is
you
there
start,
a unicorn?
Yeah, it was
I
like
don't
a
know
game.
that.
It was like a GameStop special thing. Once you start adding magic into certain games, it sort of takes the wind out.
I haven't played Assassin's Creed in a long time, and I've watched some streams of this one. This one doesn't look terrible. It looks like with the equipment they're kind of going the Destiny route. That you equip, that you equip all of your body items, you get the rarity, you break it down just like Destiny. Then they're also going the kind of fantasy route, as in like God of War, it's set in it's set in like Greece, like God of War.
Well, the one thing I drew from the trailer, because I don't know if you're just drawing that from the trailer.
Oh no, I've been watching streams of it.
Okay.
So I've been watching.
I'm just interested in how Leonidas ties in and like how they bring that together, because like they really kind of stressed how like Leonidas is part of the storyline, and I'm wondering how much that actually ends
I know
up being.
Medusa is too.
Yeah.
Guess who's it?
I'll tell you later.
But I guess with this new game, I'm not gonna buy it, but I might buy it at GameStop in like 6 months when it's cheaper and might have fun playing it.
I feel like putting in magic into Assassin's Creed games is sort of like it really is like
It cheapens it because they're
it does
a little bit.
It's like adding time travel into like a sci-fi movie, or anything like that.
Or like Assassin's Creed. Time travel in Assassin's Creed.
Well, I mean, it's sort of time travel there. It's not like your guy in the future is going back like an M16. Right. It's like, take this.
Yeah, especially because the whole thing is, it's like they started off saying, it's like a realistic thing. We're going to use historical facts, but also. Magic. Yeah, that's not real. Also, I think they've had more Assassin's Creed games than Land Before Time movies. And anytime you have more sequels than the Land Before Time, it's time to put that intellectual property out to pasture.
Land Before Time has kind of a dark history. No, really?
Oh,
no, it's fun.
At the end,
you want it.
At the end, everyone dies.
No, alright, no, I'm talking about specifically
the Ducky.
Ducky, the voice actor.
Ducky got fucked.
No, actually, the voice actor.
No, the voice.
Everyone tell it.
Okay, let's continue.
No, I know what happened to Ducky.
I know what happened to Ducky.
It was a little girl and
Really?
we're not gonna talk about that.
So I guess they both.
We're not gonna talk about that.
No,
oh my god.
Am I
tasteless? Alright.
Yeah, I'm real tasteless.
I know.
I thought you were just talking about like the storyline and you took it a whole different direction.
I did.
Whatever way you can say he died.
That was my fault. I brought it up.
How dare you?
Yeah, you're the villain of this group.
Let's get back to the news.
Yeah. Alright, let's see. In December, it's been announced that there's a PG-13 version of Deadpool 2 coming out.
Whack.
I wasn't excited about it, okay? Tell us the next point, because this is what made me excited about it.
So what's making it PG-13 is all of the kind of like sketchy R-rated scenes, they're going to be replaced with Deadpool seated into the beginning of Princess Bride as the grandpa telling a story to the kid in bed. So like, if we like have, and Deadpool cuts this guy's fucking head off and
without the
down
fucking
into the
by
gutter.
The way. It's PG-13.
He's gonna read it in the book.
They can only get away with like one fuck.
It's like, it is gonna be just like another cut of Deadpool 2, but like it sounds great to me. It sounds great.
Dude, I hate Deadpool. He's a shitty character. Let's move on.
Superman can suck my fucking dick.
I was gonna take a hammer to the head.
You have no escape route, my friend.
You really don't. Look at his shirt.
Do you not see this symbol of hope?
You're in the wrong town, boy.
It roams like a river because it comes and goes. Fuck you!
Also, it stands for hope.
It was more of me lashing out than anything.
Gratitude.
You're lucky I didn't kill you with a hammer just like the brunettes I've killed in San Bernardino.
Let's go to Marvel movies.
Oh shit.
We've got
explosions.
We've got actually tying into the next one, we've got a new trailer for Dark Phoenix.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks good.
Look, anything with McAvoy and his dreamy eyes will win me over.
Yeah, or cool-ass James Bond villain style Magneto.
But is Storm going to say the best line in cinematic movie history ever?
Yeah, it is.
So, I'll tell you later, because if I say in front of Lance, apparently he says it's terrible, and he'll vomit or poop his pants.
So they're also...
are you talking about the same thing that happens to everything else?
You stupid on.
You know what happens to a frog in a thunderstorm?
You know how it gets by lightning?
Oh my god, I hate it. I hate
Well, that's
it.
up there with like Shakespeare and I don't know, FDR's fireside chats.
You, just keep going. I hate
So
it.
anyway, with
Halle
what I
Berry
was
should
going to say
never
with
have
Dark
been
Phoenix.
I'm sorry.
Go on.
So Dark Phoenix, it has been
Halle Berry
delayed
should have
4
stayed out of
months.
superhero
Yeah.
movies then. I guess so. Sorry.
Yeah, so it has been delayed 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
So this either could be a good thing or a bad thing.
Is it for reshoots or?
They haven't really said. It's either a bad thing because maybe they are reshooting and rewriting stuff, or it could be a
Did
good
they lock
thing.
the editors out? Because that tends to be a bad thing.
I don't know. Or it could be a good thing because Fox is just going, hey, this is our last X-Men movie. We may as well pour everything into it.
There's new Captain Marvel.
So, huh?
They're talking about the Fox.
I keep thinking
the
of
Fox
X-Men. I
properties.
keep thinking of
Yeah.
X-Men, and then
Yeah.
it gets me back to Halle Berry thing. So there's a new Captain Marvel movie coming out, right?
Yeah, there is
So,
a
no, like,
Captain
so that's
Marvel,
Shazam,
yes.
Captain Marvel.
Fox Disney is going through, as far as we know, though. So the option to bring
Yeah.
in these characters into the Avenger universe or the MCU is potentially there.
Well,
so it'll be
I'm not a
interesting to
fan
kind
of
of see how
Marvel
it
movies,
pans out.
though.
Well, Captain Marvel.
Listen, the Marvel movies are
is-
30 minutes of explosions, 10 straight minutes of exposition, but with no
Yeah.
character building in
I
between,
feel
and then another 30 minutes of explosions.
like Marvel gets away with a lot of things that DC never will because of the fan base.
No, listen. Here's
I
the
feel like
reason-
there's like certain things that like the Martha thing. I'm like, you realize that like that's part of like
there's a
the
lot.
Spider-Man
there's a lot
thing.
going
Like
on in
all
that
of
scene.
Spider-Man is like, oh my uncle, oh my mom. Well, that's a thing with superheroes, okay, you dumbass.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my uncle died. If I hear Peter Parker complain about Uncle Ben and how it's his fault,
gotta happen
and how
every movie.
how he doesn't make anything better, and how he doesn't change my life, like, okay, Captain America's super serum changed his life.
Yeah.
Come on.
But they never, but when Marvel does it, because I feel like it's easier for Marvel to say it's a kids movie because they do market those movies to kids better than DC does. And again, Marvel's 2 hours of explosions and 20 minutes of exposition, the only reason why that sort of seems like it's allowed to go through is because it's not as bad as the Michael Bay movies with it.
It's true.
Like, they've been using those movies as a buffer to, like, sort of...
Yeah.
That and the Fast and the Furious movies, they've been using those.
Speaking of Michael Bay,
Okay.
there was also a trailer for Bumblebee. Michael Bay isn't the director, but he's the producer, so he does still have his dirty fucking Michael Bay dick
So
in
we're
it.
still going to have
So-
Michael Bay explosions.
So yeah, I'm not really looking forward to it. In the trailer, there was Starscream, and I think that there
We
was
are
some
gonna
Soundwave
see-
in there.
I've seen
But-
all of the trailers for it.
Yeah,
I will
dude.
say that.
I've just seen
One
one.
thing I will say, we are going to see some war on Cybertron,
Another
which
would
is a
be
good
so
move.
much
It
better.
is also another good thing with the Transformers movies, though. Make some cool toys.
I have to say, like,
They always make cool toys.
it's not. It's never going to be the
shit.
Okay, so like, I will never put like the Transformers movies above Mad Max as like action movie of the year.
What are you
okay?
talking about? It's a cerebral.
Like Mad
thriller.
Max Fury Road is like when it came out, like it was hands down best action movie of that year, probably of my life. Sorry, but that's
Wait, did that come
that's
out
the
during-
standard.
Did that come out during the Superman movie?
Before that, it was Terminator 2.
No, did Mad Max come out during the same year of the Superman movie?
I think so. Man of Steel, I
Nah,
believe.
fuck it. Superman, dude. I'll fight and die for him.
I love Superman.
Also, his,
No, Craig, how dare you?
remember his suit is also it's fireproof and acid proof. I don't know how his mom knew that it was acid proof.
Because she was a woman in the 40s and they were throwing acid on people, dude.
Yeah.
That was like a national pastime. Just, oh, hey, so you reject me, do you? Bam.
Yeah, we should talk more about Superman serials from the 1940s, but Nathaniel's talking about the news.
Alright.
Oh yeah. So final thoughts on Bumblebee. I don't trust any movie that has B and movie in the title. So moving on.
You like jazz?
I do like
Moving on. We've mentioned it briefly. There's Captain Marvel, the movie coming out.
Which
I've
looks like a
seen-
TV show.
That's
Yeah,
mistaken with Shazam, by the way. Just
What about Kazam?
I haven't seen
What about
too
Steel?
much about it. That
I
one
was
is going to
super-
be set in the 80s. It is way before all of the other Marvel movies.
Go watch the trailer for Krypton, and then go watch the trailer for Mrs. Marvel,
And then watch the trailer.
and then
for
you
Humans.
sit there and you're like, these look like they have the same budget.
Yeah.
One does not have the budget of a Marvel movie. One definitely has the budget of a sci-fi TV show, like on the Sci-Fi Network, which is arguably
Listen, Craig,
not
if
the
you don't
greatest
like the Captain
network.
Marvel movie or the Sexist and the
Oh,
Fifty
yeah.
No.
Oh,
I'm,
yeah.
The thing is,
You know I'm right.
I like the character.
Yeah.
I want to like this movie. I was severely disappointed that it's not going to be, that it was basically like, it almost looks cheap. And I'm like, is it because this is
It doesn't have
like, I don't know why they made it look so cheap, but I'm like, I hope you like clean this up and make it look like at least Guardians of the Galaxy level, because this looks terrible
It
right
looks
now.
like, so it looks like this just from story-wise, they're not going with the Warbird version. They're going with the Carol Danvers that was in a Civil War.
Yeah.
And that one wasn't my favorite.
Yeah,
by the way, we can't talk about Captain Marvel anymore because
Are we talking? So you want to see Kamala Khan versus
Yeah.
versus
No,
Carol
I know. I
Danvers?
want to see Carol Danvers.
Right.
But I feel like they're going with the Civil War 2 version of Carol Danvers.
Yeah, it looks like they're
Which is
definitely
super-
going with the Civil War.
Which she wasn't an interesting character, but again, we are a group of straight white men here, so we do have to carry on.
Look, the fact that I know who Carol Danvers is should show that I love her.
And if it's
character.
anything,
And that I know that there's a difference between Kamala Khan and Carol Danvers.
Yeah.
Like, I love these characters.
We're a group of straight white men.
That's true, but I love the characters. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm not talking
Are we
as a
though?
person who does not appreciate a female superhero lead.
Straight white men. But dude, we can't talk about it.
Yeah, it's just a real deep can.
Let's see.
No, it's because I identify as black and that's
Oh, okay.
I identify with hard as fuck.
Alright, I guess we can start wrapping up. Why don't we go over, let's quickly go through maybe like the stuff that we're interested in right now. So we're reading, TV show that we're watching.
TV?
Yeah.
Watching Judge Judy? No.
Did you know that she is one of the highest paid TV personalities?
Did you know she's actually not she's not a terrible mean shrew? She's actually very.
She seems like a very nice person.
No, she actually is like a really.
I would have dinner with Judge Judy.
She's just a real curt person. You know what I mean?
Judge Judy, we know that you're watching this.
Yeah.
Contact us on Twitter and you can be on our next episode.
Yeah, I'll do anything for you, Judge Judy. Except
I would
for that.
have Judge Judy Chamberlain over there in the time.
Let's see. We gotta go back on almost track.
No, Judge Judy.
Alright. So
I'm excited about Star Trek Discovery season 2.
Yeah.
So I don't know if people have been following season 1. Did anyone watch season 1 at the table?
No, I wanted to, but I just haven't gotten onto it.
I just haven't gotten that thing. I mean, I would never pirate the show.
I don't know what you're talking about. The only way to get it is legitimately.
Yes, piracy is terrible, and you should never do it.
But I am excited to see kind of like what happens with the season 2, because I feel like the production value of Star Trek Discovery season 1 specifically was probably ages above, or I don't know. It's way above what we have seen with previous iterations. I feel like it's got the budget.
Anything's better than that.
Yes.
I mean, I can make something better than Enterprise.
Man,
whoa.
They just did trip wrong, alright?
What'd you say about Deep Space Nine?
Dude, if you ask me something, you're gonna catch these hands, alright?
We gotta just take these shirts off.
You throwing hands, I'm catching gloves.
this is why we need Judge Judy. Judge Judy contacts us on Twitter, 20sided night
at gmail.com.
Twitter.
Hey, you don't
And gmail.com.
Listen, you hear the classic lady.
Judge Judy, okay? Judge Judy, that's 27night at gmail.com.
Pretty please, with sugar on top.
But at the end of season 1, we get the introduction of the character Captain Pike, which, if you know anything about the Star Trek universe, Captain Pike is who precedes Kirk. And then in the trailer for season 2, we also get introduced to a beardy Spock, and I'm interested to see what happens.
I'm open to grow face hair. I didn't know that could happen.
Sure they can.
I know that basically
Like you grow sideburns, it starts to grow.
No, it just gives you that point, and that's it.
Yeah.
the cinematic universe.
Physiology.
The cinematic universe is coming to an end. We know that
Thank Christ.
I didn't know that.
Chris Hemsworth is out to reprise as a role for him. Chris Pine is out completely. Zachary Quinto looks to be out. So we don't have Spock, we don't have Kirk, we don't have
Which
Kirk's dad.
No, it's going to be Aurora, that blonde lady, and then Scotty. And that's
Right.
Gonna be,
So unless they
way.
recast the whole thing and bring in a new Kirk and Spock, or they decide to go a different direction and make Uhura the captain, although I doubt they'll be able to secure Zoe Saldana due to Guardians of the Galaxy and Infinity Wars.
Was that the same person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
She
She
played
was
Uhura.
green, so I only see race and gender, so she was green and it threw me off.
She wasn't. Oh well, she was green in one, but not the other.
Yeah.
Well, 'cause
I was like, no, the green girl's someone else, and then I was like, oh, Gamora.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
Well, because my biggest thing with the new Star Trek movies is that
Right.
it's not the same tone as Star Trek. Because like the other Star Trek, they'd be something like if, let's say shuttle crashes on a planet and they need to get some crew, but like some of the locals who they have like basically Civil War technology, they need to go beam down, but they're like in prison. They're going to be like, well, should we bring phasers to defend ourselves? And they have like a talk about, if we have it, we're going to be tempted to use it, and then we'll be setting a precedence for the civilization that the sky is spooky.
And the new one just like if you gave a Led Zeppelin song some sci-fi makeup and just had them go at it.
So Laser Floyd.
I feel like it captures, in essence, though, the movies. Even like the Star Trek the motion picture, like you have a lot of space combat that happens in a lot of those movies that, even with like William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy, like those ones were much more like cinematic events where it is like the Klingons fighting and stuff. And there's like stuff that happens on planets and whatnot.
If
they
they
still
have
do
the
things,
technology of today, I'm sure it will be more parallel to what we have now.
Right.
If they did have the technology and the budgets for movies that
But one thing I will say is it's not episodic like you were saying, where every episode they go do this specific thing. It's much more of a linear storyline, kind of like Daredevil plays, or Iron Fist, or those ones.
I'm sorry.
Just saying, it's
yeah.
Over the course of the season, it tells one larger story.
Yeah.
Whereas if you watch the whole season of Star Trek: The Next Generation, it's like, was there a theme for that whole season? Not really. It kind of just,
listen,
there were different episodes.
It's like Rick and Morty,
which I love. Don't
Q
get me
shows
wrong,
up and they're like, Q again, so
fuck
there.
you, Q.
I like Q.
Yeah. The guy
all
plays
like Q.
He's actually
Just
like
when
a cool guy. The guy who plays him, I met him at Comic-Con back when it was Comic-Con. He's like a cool guy, like he chatted with me from me. He's a cool dude.
Yeah. So I want to see where it goes, and I'm excited. The trailer was really good. It looks like that production value has been kept, and I think it looks very much more like a movie.
Yeah.
Rather than looking like a really cheap model being flipped upside down.
Whoa! Listen, that's my heart, my soul.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong. I'm just saying, like, when something blows up and there's massive amounts of debris, and they kind of realistically show that they've got to fly through just a proverbial minefield of shit. It looks great.
But
it's fantastic.
One thing I liked about the Star Trek movies, they did a better job with being able to handle the access that having a better budget, more technology gives you. Than say the Star Wars movies, for example.
Yeah.
That just really heavily, like even the prequels, that is really heavily relied on. I can't really call them lightsaber fights, but lightsaber, because I do a lot of fencing and sword fighting in my regular life. But they did a really good job of being able to handle that.
Yeah.
Like more access.
Also sand.
I don't like sand.
Thank you. Sand's
Would
the
you
worst,
like-
dude.
Like it's coarse, it's rough, and
It's hot and it gets everywhere.
Oh god damn you! It does get
Like-
everywhere, and it's the worst because you get it in your pockets and you can't get the shit out.
That's because you put sand in your pockets on purpose.
If you sit in the sand, it's in your ass crack. And
Sometimes I'll pass it.
Whoa.
Sometimes I'll pass it at the beach. Sometimes I'll pass it at the beach,
killed them
and then I can't get the sand
the
out.
women and the children.
Here's the about killing women and children. Let's move on. What are you doing with your life?
Look, don't mess with God King Anakin, all right?
I don't know. Right now, just I don't know. Like I've started kind of reading the fourth Game of Thrones book. I know I'm real late to the party. It doesn't matter, but Books are better because there's a lot more weird stuff in the books.
You have the Red Wedding coming up.
No, that's like second book.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
That's second book.
Yeah, I've read. I'm nibbling away at the fourth.
I read the
Are
first
you
book.
are you dealing with the Boltons then? Or?
Yeah. Like, it's something where I was reading it, and then the guy who sits next to me started swearing up a storm, so I got distracted trying to listen to what's going on in his cubicle.
Have you watched the series? Or?
Yeah, I've watched it, but the books are
you caught up on it?
Well,
Like, the latest that they, like, go way off of the book?
Give us a report by Monday morning.
So you're a fan of Stannis the Menace?
Yeah,
it's all right.
Listen,
I want to know if he has the same storyline in the book as the series.
They should have put Patchface in the series. Like, I know they can't put everything in there, but he's a magic clown like Melisandre, the big old witch, is like, dude, no, keep him away from me. Like, basically, like those.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Like, you know how in the Rogue One where Darth Vader was killing those dirty rebel troops. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I just said
it's like basically that's what Melisandre is like when she sees Patchface. But basically, it's like if there was like a birthday party clown and like the Secretary of Defense is like, no, get that clown away from me! No, Jesus Christ, no!
All right.
But so there's that. Been trying to get back into Warhammer painting, miniature painting.
Oh my God! So you're gonna take out a small mortgage?
Listen, sacrifice.
Get Star Saga.
Also,
listen, here's the thing: if you want to get into miniature painting, it's just a side.
No.
If you want to get into miniature painting, get Star Saga from Mantic Games. It costs like maybe half of the price as Warhammer. The miniatures, they're on the same par quality there for that, and it's not just hey, here's a Chaos Marine. Here's a Space Marine, but more fucking skulls.
Hey, here's the thing. First of all, I like painting Space Orcs. First of all, how dare you? You don't think Bob deserves to have a second boat?
Dude, Bob, here's the thing about Bob. He's a sweet and a great guy. If you're ever half his comics, go buy Warhammer. Warhammer is an excellent line. Top of the line, it cannot be beaten both quality. And if you go to Haster Games on State Street, go there to buy Warhammer miniatures. Everything else will probably be a box full of sand.
But also,
the
thing is, here's the thing though, kids. You gotta never, whatever you do, no matter what he says or what anyone else says in your life, they'll lead you astray. Don't thin your paints.
Alright, so I guess we're moving on to what Nakin Cole's up to.
Oh, are we moving on now?
Yeah, because that's the cutting off point.
I mean, pretty much the only thing that I'm reading right now is Hellblazer, the old Constantine comic book.
Mm-hmm.
He actually there's a TV show on right now for Constantine.
Okay.
No.
How is it?
Huh?
No, there's not.
It was canceled?
Was it canceled?
Yes.
Well, I don't watch live TV. So I've been watching
So maybe we shouldn't bring that up.
I've been watching it.
Spoiler alert, it will end without you getting
like
any
all things
resolution.
in life.
I will say, though, Constantine, that character from that show is on TV, but he is in the Legends of Tomorrow series.
I love Constantine.
I am glad they roped him in, and I'm glad he agreed to do it.
I'll watch anything with Constantine.
When they cancel your show, you have a tendency to not want to do that character anymore.
Yeah.
And actually, the guy that was playing Constantine in the live action also does the voice acting for the movies.
Quick thing about
the DC Showcase
movies. DC consistently does better than Marvel is the animated movies.
Oh, yeah,
DC animated is amazing.
I know they're not as high budget, they're not as glamorous.
Flashpoint Paradox was so good.
Batman Bad Blood was really good.
And by the way, Talia al Ghul has never been so sexy as that series.
What is it? Christ on Tour with the Ultraman and Lex Luthor and that character.
That's an older one, though. I mean, it's
but
kind of
it's
like
still really good, though. Like DC always does a really good job.
And Justice League Dark.
I haven't seen that, but I wanted to.
It has Swamp Thing and Constantine.
Yeah.
And Zatanna.
What's the other one?
Deadman.
There's the one where they cover the alternate storyline where. Oh, there's Gotham by Gaslight, which is really good.
Is it?
It's like it puts Batman in England during the time of Jack the Ripper, and he's trying to find out who Jack the Ripper is.
I've heard of that. Yeah,
it's fantastic. I don't recommend the Joker one where he's like in Japan and it's computer animated.
See, I haven't seen
that. Shit, don't ever make one of those again, DC. If you watch this,
they are watching it.
Fuck you.
They are watching DC. We love your animated movies. Except for
If you ever want to watch a true to the comic book with a great story, you got like watch the DC animated series movies. They're on Hulu. You can get them on Amazon. I don't know where else to get them. I don't know what streaming.
They cycle through the platforms.
Out there. Yeah, but they're really good. And especially one that you want to watch: Batman: Bad Blood, Christ on Two Earths, and the weird one where Joker is a cyborg in Japan.
Was he a
other one,
cyborg in Japan?
There's
too?
one where
he's like in ancient
the whole history of the Justice League is rewritten, and
the one for Batman.
Batman is a vampire.
Are you
Wonder
talking
Woman.
about the one?
Wonder Woman is like basically Big Barda's
Yeah,
character.
I love it. Oh, Gods and Monsters.
Yeah, that's it. Gods
Yeah,
and
that was
Monsters.
really good. That
And
was
Superman
amazing.
is an immigrant child.
Rather
Rather
than
than
actually General Zod's kid.
yeah, he is General Zod's kid,
That's
but he's
not
also
a
an
spoiler. None of
immigrant
this is
child.
spoilers. This is
Like
all mentioned in
he
the
ends
first
up
10 minutes.
he ends up landing in a field and being picked up by the migrant workers.
Yeah.
And so like he speaks Spanish and stuff. Like he's
It's an
freaking
amazing
great.
story. Really treat yourself and watch
Danny-
it. It's great.
What's it?
I thought you were gonna
Michael
say
C.
Danny
Hall
DeVito, but I know it's not.
plays Batman as the vampire.
Here's
So
the thing-
Dexter is playing Batman.
Oh,
I know what you're
Right.
saying. I hear what you're saying, but I heard the word Danny DeVito just now because I said it.
Danny
And
DeVito.
Danny
Yeah, 'cause you said
He's playing the Penguin.
would make
Yeah,
an
he was the
excellent-
Penguin
No,
in
shut
that.
up. Danny
Alright.
DeVito would make an excellent Superman.
No, I agree. And on that, any
It was like twins.
Danny DeVito is Superman. Look, you got Danny DeVito Superman, Norm Macdonald's Big Barda, and you know what?
No, Danny DeVito Superman?
No, Gilbert Gottfried is
So,
Batman.
on that bombshell, do we have any final
You know
thoughts?
where the other
Any,
drugs are
any
going.
final thoughts before we end?
trash, man.
Here's the thing.
Anything
I don't
else?
know.
I have a suit.
I mean, I guess we don't get to talk.
I have a very particular set of skills.
Oh no! I dropped my monster battery.
I'm gonna use my grappling
For
hook.
my Magnum Billy.
Do we need the didgeridoo? Do we need the didgeridoo?
All right, everybody. Well, thanks for watching 27 Night. Bye for now.